Well, guys, Coach Spurrier attributes last week's win at the Swamp to team unity. Blocked kicks by special teams, the defense holding the Gators scoreless in the fourth quarter, and of course that winning touchdown by the offense. But before that, things were not so even. The Gamecocks featured an offense with the second best passing attack in the SEC, and the defense ranking last in almost every defensive category and allowing opponents an average of 460 yards per game. Welcome back to Williams-Brice Stadium, where South Carolina leads 10-6. Now, we all know how decorated Coach Spurrier is, and yesterday in our meetings, I was looking around his office. I see his Heisman Trophy, his National Championship Trophy, a couple SEC Championship game balls, and I asked him what his favorite thing in there was, and his answer surprised me. He pointed to a picture of his 1989 Duke team. That year, they won an ACC title, and he was awarded ACC Coach of the Year. Now, remember, Duke was his first head coaching job, and guys, he just lights up talking about that year and his time as a Blue Devil.
And Olivia is ready with Coach Spurrier.
Coach, South Alabama's opening drive was the longest you've faced all season. What have they done offensively that's been so difficult to slow down?
They've run the ball against us and hit a few third down passes, but we've held them to 9 points. So it's hard to get mad at the defense. We're having trouble getting them off the field, but we had 3 turnovers on offense right here at the end, so we need to tighten up.
That's right, a game of turnovers it's been, keeping your sidelines pretty active. What adjustments do you make in the second half?
Well, we got to get them off the field.
Coach, before today, you were only 34% effective on third down. A great improvement in that area today. What do you attribute to your offense?
Well, we had a good game plan. I thought the coaching staff did a good job of putting.
For more on the Gamecock Day, let's go down to Olivia.
Well, guys, the South Carolina defense has changed things up at practice the past few weeks. It used to be all about how many snaps they could fit in one practice, all about reps. Now it's all about assignments and perfection. Defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward told me that they have to force at least 3 turnovers every practice, and if they fail to do that, a whole lot of up-downs for the South Carolina defense. Another thing that has changed is Coach Ward is down here on the sidelines now for games where he used to be up in the box, and he likes to have that one-on-one contact. I've been watching him throughout the game. He has his hands on his players. Talk about the versatility you have on offense. Even switching out your quarterback and receiver, you've got to have some fun with that.
Well, it just happened to work out, yeah. Dylan threw it to Pharaoh, and then Pharaoh threw it to Dylan.
The race for the East is on. Today, the football team is in Jacksonville to take on the Florida Gators in one of the SEC's most storied rivalries. Now, Coach Richt was all smiles today, talking about how Missouri's loss to South Carolina really pumped up his players.
The Bulldogs have won the past 15 home games, which is the best current streak in the SEC, so be sure to watch today to see if they make it 16.
The Bulldogs shut out Auburn last year, 38-0, but these are some new Tigers, ranked number 7 in the country and sporting a 9-1 record.
Coach, another win, still undefeated, but you said yesterday you don't know how good this team is. Do you know how good this team is now?
We played really good defense tonight. Is a good thing.
Now, Bo didn't look too happy coming off the field. What's going to be your focus this week before Alabama?
You know, this is
their signal caller back.
That's right, James, the true freshman quarterback, is back on the field today after being evaluated for a possible concussion last week, showing no symptoms. He's clear to play today. Good sign for the Demon Deacons early on. Now, Coach Clausen told me, even as a freshman, he's emerged as a big-time leader on this offense. Now, last week, he led the longest drive of the season against Syracuse. That's 91 yards. Soon after, he took a big hit to the back of the head. His 26th sack of the season, guys. That's an ACC high.
Here's Miles Willis. Olivia, what's it like down there on that Wake Forest sidelines?
Well, James, I was talking about smiles earlier. We're getting a lot more than smiles right now. Nothing like a turnover to turn the team around.
Olivia Harlan right now.
Coach, that fourth quarter, fun to watch as a fan, probably not too fun to watch as a coach. What went through your mind after that turnover?
You know, that was my fault. We were in a return we shouldn't have been in. Ready for the next week.
And now, Coach, 1 game away from bowl eligibility. We go into November play. Where's the status of your team?
You know, that sounded good when you just said that right there. We're 1 game away. And
Olivia Harlan.
Yeah, rare to have your leading scorer play on defense, but sophomore Darius Sims has proved his worth in all 3 phases of play. As a cornerback, he had a pick-6 against Kentucky. As a return guy, he had 2 kickoff return touchdowns in 1 game against South Carolina, and now a receiver. Just last week, he had his first catch. Now, Coach Mason told me yesterday that Sims' role on this team going into the second half of the season is exclusively on offense. Well, these 2 coaches could not have more different styles. Coach Chadwell at Charleston Southern is very
loose, makes football fun again, known to play Jimmy Buffett at practice, and Coach Mason at Vanderbilt is much more blue-collared mentality. He says playing is a privilege. He calls himself an agent of change and says the program will see its day. Now, a lot of this is in part to his military background and his family, and he's brought that here to Nashville. As you mentioned, both schools starting true freshman quarterbacks, and that's because both schools' depth charts have been drastically affected, but in different ways. Wake Forest head coach Dave Clawson is in his first year here. He's rebuilding the program and given a lot of playing time to young players. In fact, 74% of the roster consists of freshmen and sophomores. Coach John Wolford coming back, not dressed out. What's his status right now?
You know what? He has no concussive symptoms.
Just trying to keep penalties down in the second half of the season. Today you already have 4. How do you limit those in the second half?
Well, we got 3 of them are false starts with a freshman quarterback and some freshman people up front. So,
with your inside look at training camp, here's your top 3. Number 1, the outside linebackers dominated at the blitz pickup today. Vic, what do you think of them?
The outside linebackers made the running backs miss.
Number 2, Dayton Jones was used in the zone blitz today.
Yeah, the
Number 3, Mike, you know who has stood out to me is Jeremy Ross, who looks like he's playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder from that epic fumble last year.
Yeah, Ross is out here with something to prove. He wants to win a job as a receiver. And
welcome back to Packers.com. I'm Olivia Harlan, joined by my wardrobe twin, Vic Ketchman. Vic, tell them we didn't plan this.
I wear black a lot. It makes me look younger.
And thinner.
And thinner, too.
Well, we have your inside look at training camp, and here's your top 3. Number 1, injuries at cornerback. So what does this mean for the younger guys?
Well, for Micah Hyde, it means an opportunity.
Number 3, we haven't seen much of a kicking competition since the first day of camp, but we will be seeing it, Vic, on family night.
I'm joined by the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Gus Bradley. Now, Coach Bradley, what did you see today, especially in Murray, that really caught your attention?
Well, you know what? We were fortunate to have him down with us in the Senior Bowl. For a good day for him, a good showing.
Are you trying to bring him back down to the Sunshine State?
Well, you know what? We'd love to. You know, it's an interesting process you're going through, really looking for.
Now, we know you do your due diligence, you look at the tape, you look at the stats, you follow their college career. So does Pro Day really change your mind in any way at this late in the game?
I don't think necessarily. I think
16 former Bulldogs participated in UGA Pro Day today, 13 of which were on last year's roster. And now, Danny, this was not the Combine in Indy, this was not the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, but rather this is on our own home turf in Athens, Georgia.
General managers, that they have what it takes to take it to the next level.
Yeah, it's a big day for these dogs. Everyone's vying to improve their stock in the 2014 draft.
Is there a different feel this year, this spring, as you're starting practicing around the building? Just some guys are gone, new coaches, new quarterback. Is there a different feel around here?
I think there is a different feeling, I think.
Knowing what you know now about life, about school, about swimming, about the Olympics, what would you tell freshman Shannon Breland? You've accomplished the highest honor in your sport. Does that put pressure on you for what's next? Do you feel the need for a second gold medal is what I'm asking.
I don't know. I think about that a lot.
6'6" and 315 pounds as a starting left tackle in the SEC, John Theus has proved his chops against some of the toughest defensive lines in the country. Now, when the helmet's on, few people stand a chance getting by him, but when it's off, everyone who knows him will tell you he is a gentle giant. In this week's edition of Dog Sitting, we introduce you to the John Theus you don't know. Big red with a heart of gold.
John, going into your junior year, reflect a little bit back on your freshman and sophomore year, different position and just a different overall feel.
Yeah, coming in, playing right tackle. What to do at that position and do it at a high level.
Is it fair to say then that you might know the offense better than anyone on that field?
Probably so, I would say.
Final score was 27-24, and that red team was the victorious team led by quarterback Hudson Mason. Mason had a great day, 188 passing yards, went 17 for 26, solidifying his spot as the #1 guy.